Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about when you stop caring, she starts chasing. And this is so true, especially with those girls that either still love and care about you, but it also applies to those girls that probably just want your attention. So the girls that like you, when you stop giving them your attention, when you stop caring as much, they will start chasing you. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not caring. It doesn't mean that you are mean to them or cold to them. All that it means is you just give them time and space. You give them space. So when you start dating someone, obviously it's a good idea to kind of keep contact with them to a minimal at the beginning, right? So you see each other, let's say once a week on a date. And in between those dates, make sure that there's a good few days where you don't speak to each other. Give her that time to think about you and don't bombard her, because most of the time when I've kind of noticed this myself, but when you're in the dating world, sometimes you can get really put off by someone who just constantly messages you, right? Who's always in your DMs, who's always talking to you. And this is something that my wife also spoke about as well, like when we were both dating, in the dating world, and we hadn't found each other yet, basically. She went on a date with someone who basically, after the first date, was sending her loads of messages, sent her like 2 bunches of flowers, and a gift. That was just after one date. Now that is the definition of coming on too strong. And a lot of girls don't like that. It put my wife off of her. Yeah, and if that happened to me, it would have put me off of that person as well. So the thing is, you need to give the person that you like time to think about you, especially if you are in that courting process. So just give them a few days after, in between those dates where you don't really speak, right? Don't speak to them, and then, after a few days has passed, then, reach out to them and ask them out. Give her time to think about you. It doesn't mean that you're mean. It doesn't mean that you're cold. It just means that you give them space, especially if you're in a kind of situation where you've noticed that she's pulling away from you and she's pulling back and she's not as interested anymore and she's kind of a bit flaky now, whereas at the beginning she was really, really into you. All you have to do is just back off and just match and mirror what she's doing. So for example, get your phone out and look at the correspondence that you two have had. Who's sending the most messages? Who's sending the longer messages? If it's you, if you're the one that's always initiating, if you're sending more messages, if you're sending the longer messages, cut back. Do what she does. If she only sends you like a sentence, then you only send her a sentence. If she only messages you once a day, then you only message her once a day. Start cutting back. And then if she really likes you, she'll start to be reattracted to you and you'll start seeing each other more again, and her enthusiasm for the relationship will come back. So give the girls that like you, time and space to think about you. Okay, don't be so enthusiastic, right? Don't go from 0 to 100 like this girl who went out with my wife and sent her flowers after the first date, like 2 bunches of flowers and a gift. Like, don't do that kind of stuff. It just reeks of neediness and desperation. Don't be desperate. Don't act desperate. If you're sending too many messages, if you're calling her up too much, you're looking desperate, especially if you're doing more than what she is. Okay, just back off. Do what she does. Match and mirror her what she's doing, or perhaps do less than what she is doing, right? But all that matters is that you're never mean to her. You are just, if she says to you, why aren't you talking to me as much? Just say, oh, I'm really sorry. I've just been so busy. And if you don't want to feel inauthentic, then make sure that you are busy during those days, right? If you don't want to come off as phony, make yourself busy, right? But anyway, there are also other girls, though, who will start chasing you when you start ignoring them, that just want your attention, right? There are some girls that just literally want your attention, and they just like the ego boost that they get from the fact that you really like them, right? So obviously that's so bad, it's not good but unfortunately there are women out there like that, and I'm sure there's a couple of men out there who are like that as well, but some people literally just like having you in their life because they know that you like them, and they like the fact that you like them, and it makes them feel good about themselves, it makes them feel sexy, it makes them feel interesting, it makes them feel desired, and it's okay to want to feel like that, but I don't think it's a good idea to do that if you're stringing someone else along, like what a lot of girls do when they're not into someone, but let's say they friend zoned you, but they like to keep you around because they like the fact that you like them and it makes them feel good. right? It's obviously not a good thing to do, but it's something that they do. And, you know, not all women, obviously, but it's something that a lot of girls do. So, you know, but the thing is what's funny is, like, if you stop giving these girls attention, they will start chasing you if either they want your attention or they do genuinely like you. So I'll just give you another quick tip. Like, how can you tell, basically, if a girl actually likes me or she's reaching out to me because she just wants my attention and she just likes the ego boost? You know, basically, you ask them out. You say, hey, I'd like to meet up with you. You know, the girl who wants your attention, who wants to friend zone you, who's not into you but just likes the attention that you give her, she'll just she'll flake out. She may say yes, but she'll flake out, or she'll say no, or she'll come up with an excuse. A girl that genuinely likes you will be enthusiastic. She'll be like, oh, I'm so glad that you asked me that. You know, she'll turn up and she'll be there. She won't try to do anything to make it happen. She won't like give you an excuse or anything like that. She will say yes and she'll show up. The girl that just wants your attention won't show up, or they'll flake on you last minute, or they'll say no altogether, or they'll give you an excuse. Right, so that's how you know, basically. But the way that you get these girls' attention is by just cutting back, just by being more mysterious, just by not messaging them as much. And when you do message them, make sure it's just something like asking them out on a date. Don't chit-chat online too long, because that makes it really boring real quick. So, you know, try to cut to the chase and get to the part where you ask her out on a date. Don't spend hours and hours messaging each other. You know, get to the point. You know, when I first asked out my wife, we matched on Tinder and I arranged a date with her that same evening. Like, I got to the point. So make sure that you are getting to the point. Get the dates going, right? That's how you're going to find out, basically, if this girl actually likes you, no matter who it is. And that's how you know, that's, you know, basically, if you stop chasing them, they will start chasing you, especially if they like you, right? And also, of course, those girls that just want your attention. And like I said, the best way to know if they just want your attention or if they do genuinely like you, ask them out. That's how you know. And if they like you, they'll show up. And if they don't, they'll give an excuse or they won't show up. But another thing that I just quickly want to add, you know, if she reaches out to you, if she does end up reaching out to you, don't be cold or mean to her. So obviously the video is like saying stop caring, but you don't want to be treating her harshly, because if you're treating her harshly, she's going to like avoid you. She's going to avoid speaking to you. You know, so whenever she reaches out to you, always be really nice to her and polite to her. So be like glad that she reached out. So she might just send a message to you saying, hey, how are you? You know, the worst thing you could do is ignore her. Another bad thing that you could do, which is probably even worse than that, is to say something mean to her. But if you really like her and you want to date her, when she reaches out to you, be like, oh, wow, it's really nice to hear from you. When are you free to hang out? You know, ask her something like that. Always be enthusiastic when she reaches out to you. Always be enthusiastic. Always be friendly to her. Never be horrible or mean or cold. You know, it doesn't mean, you know, this doesn't mean that you're a cold fish to her. It just means that you give her space. And when she does reach out to you, you're always friendly, you're always polite, you're always welcoming, you're always happy to see her, right? It's kind of like whatever she does, it doesn't affect you, right? That's kind of how you give off the essence of not caring. You know, she could not speak to you for weeks and then reach out to you, but you're going to act like it doesn't bother you, like everything is just easy breezy. And if you have that attitude, that kind of easy breezy attitude, and you just think, cool, she showed up, that's great. You know, that's what's really going to, you know, give off that right attitude to the right women. If you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. So I hope you enjoyed this video on when you stop caring, she will chase. If there's anything that you would like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave your questions. I can go through your questions in a video. Leave them down in the comment section. I'll answer them in a video, or I'll answer them, you know, if it's a quick thing, then I can just quickly just type you a response. But please let me know if there's anything that you'd like me to discuss in a future video. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.